This podcast is a part of the Benview Network.
You can find this and other podcasts like it at BenviewNetwork.com.
This podcast often contains controversial or mature topics. You have been warned. Hello and welcome back to Terminator 17, the latest in the Terminator franchise, which will include Arnold returning as a Terminator, but he's pregnant. So it's actually a mashup between Terminator and that movie he was pregnant in, which I forget the name of. And what's the name of that movie?
What's the name of that movie?
Terminator : something.
What was the other movie he got pregnant in?
There was one other.
I forget the name of that movie.
I know, I can't remember it.
Terminator 17. He'll be back with new genetics. But how can you be a Terminator and be pregnant?
This fell flat on its face.
You okay?
No, I'm bitter because this is our second time recording this because the fucking program messed up and took out the entire beginning of the first recording session.
Which apparently was so much funnier. You guys missed out.
Whatever. Well, it's annoying because this is our fan appreciation episode. We have 2 stories from fans and contributors, and I was all happy for it, and then I go to start editing, and of course, the first 5 minutes, which isn't a lot, but it's important setup, is gone. So anyway, yeah, fan appreciation. Our first story is from Hyperthermal, and Hyper is on the Too Spooky Discord. He is also a new member of Raw Dog Readings, which I will get back to hosting episodes.
Oh, yeah. And I talked about favoritism, because favoritism is clearly
it is not favoritism.
Play here.
It is not favoritism. But yes, this is from Hyperthermal, and we will get into it pretty quickly so as not to waste time, because I have to go record this when I'm done. This is called A Tournament of True Tussle-bots.
You mean edit it?
Yes, I have to edit it.
You said record it.
Yeah, we're going to record it now. We're going to get into the story now.
All right.
Stop sassing me.
No.
A Tournament of True Tussle-bots, Chapter 1. No, for the love of God, we're not calling it Screamfuck. Richard McBrien halted before opening the large, fancily decorated metal door for his partner, Jameson Cox. He turned around.
Jameson Cox. Okay.
He turned around, his stubbly, perspiring, oil-smeared face contorted in insulted confusion, like he had just had a fresh sip of hot chocolate mixed with lemon. Jameson, a partially more delicate person, flinched back a little upon seeing his expression. He felt certain that he would have fallen over backwards and have his ribs be broken by the box-shaped, heavy metal contraption if it weren't for the boots the two wore as their themed outfit.
Holy shit, can you call it anything other than Screamfuck? Asked Richard. It screams, and then, more importantly, it fucks. Richard illustrated his point by doing an exaggerated pelvic thrust.
I'm going to have to put I already have a disclaimer on these episodes, so no, I don't have to say anything. Because, countered Jameson,
Because,
countered Jameson, they aired this shit right onto TV. Goddamn kids are watching this. Jameson paused, briefly finding himself in pleasant memories of watching the tournaments when he himself was a younger child. I didn't work my way up here to have my legacy become stillborn because of a crude name choice.
Love Minor, suggested Richard.
Jameson audibly winced. This time the feeling
Love Minor. So, are you a minor, or do you love minors? Wait, do you love children?
Which I think is why he's wincing, because it's a terrible name. Jameson audibly winced, this time feeling that he was going to fall over and break his ribs on his shared creation. Dick, he said, this naming convention where you like making penis jokes based on our names was cute back in those underground matches. These are big shot professional dudes we have to pitch to. Jameson readjusted his grip on the machine and noticed the sudden brightening up of Richard's face. And I know you want to make a pitch a tent joke right now. We can do that shit after we get in. If we get in.
Then what do you suggest, Jim?
Jim quickly tried to worm his digits out of the sharp nooks of the small robot he carried. I think something akin to Scream Minor would work, he said after some thought. Make sure to keep this as professional as possible. Talk about all the details without making sophomoric jokes. We might look like shit, but if we keep this all fancy, They'll have an even better impression than if we were cleanly dressed. It's basic psychology.
Huh. Okay. So they have a... How they got pretty far in this supposedly formal environment by being very informal.
Well, no, they're entering the formal environment.
Ah. Well, okay. They're playing with the big dogs now, who never make dick jokes. The door opened with a loud scraping creak, leading to a small concrete stage. Aside from a duo of bright, focused spotlights, the medium-sized room was dimly lit, giving the impression of it being a far bigger room than it actually was. Three people clad in business suits sat at podiums, elevated above anyone who would demonstrate for them. On stage right was a slightly rough-looking middle-aged man with an understated bald island in a sea of thin gray hair. Did I miss something there?
No, so, like, he has a huge bald spot in the middle of his head.
Oh, okay. So he has a sea of hair.
Yeah.
On his stage left, an angular-faced woman in her late 20s with thin-frame glasses. In the middle sat another middle-aged gentleman, entirely bald, sporting a thick white mustache that contrasted well with his dark skin. Jim and Dick meekly walked into the limelight, recognizing the three managers from previous tournaments, documentaries, and online articles, but not quite able to fully place a name to each of them. Jim's legs began to feel incredibly weak under the weight of his body, Scream Miner, and the reverberating silence.
That should be reverberating.
Reverberating silence.
Yeah.
So they're on Bot Tank.
Welcome back to Bot Tank. Will they get the funding? Glad you could make it, gentlemen, said the man in the middle. I am Arthur Phoebes, head manager of IRSO's Eastern America division. He shuffled through a small stack of files on his desk, carefully searching each holographic page to find the right details. We've been paying attention to your successes at various local events and conventions. 4th place in the Philly Fighters local championship, 2nd place in the New York City Robo Rumble Free-for-All, and 1st place in the Boston MechCon tournament. With your invention, Arthur squinted at the name the two aspiring men gave to their prize-winning robot, Cox and Dick's Thunder Tower.
Wow. We called it that, started Dick, because the design had to accommodate for the electricity and plasma generator inside. In addition to making for a visually interesting design, it allowed for the device's main method of combat, where it would send out a small stream of gas along with a short shock of electricity, which would cause damage to the opposing machine.
So I'd like to pause and point out that, like, this is comedic and ridiculous, but, like, this is good character writing. I can clearly see these two guys in my head, and I'm kind
making dick jokes.
One being very angry at the other guy making dick jokes. I honestly, I'm imagining them as Mike and Jay from Red Letter Media. Like, if they made a battle bot, this is what it would look like. So far, I'm pretty into this.
Hey, which one's Mike? Which one's Jay?
Mike's the tall one. Jay's the more scrawny one.
That doesn't help me at all.
What?
Oh, okay, the scrawny one. Okay.
Yeah, the one you think is cute.
Hey, fuck you. You don't get to do that.
Notice how she didn't say no.
You don't get to do that. That's so uncool. I told you that in confidence.
Nothing is in confidence when it comes to YouTube.
Oh, boy.
Jim let out an incredibly audible sigh of relief at Dick's conduct. This here is our proposed fighter for the upcoming 2064 Summer Olympics, which we are currently calling Scream Miner. Okay, so 2064, that actually gives us a date.
I'm sorry. I got lost again because now I'm embarrassed.
Oh, good. So Cox and Dick's Thunder Tower was what it used to be called, and they've renamed it Scream Miner. So they're just pitching it to the board. Makes sense? Caught up?
Are they gonna put the robots against each other in like a media thing and have them kiss?
Why would they kiss?
Because I've seen the wrestlers kiss. on.
What wrestling are you watching? Gay porn, even if it has wrestling in it, does not equal wrestling.
No. Okay, fine. They're gonna get up in each other's faces.
Shut up and read the paragraph.
Up in each other's robotic grills.
They probably would have grills. I'll give you that one.
The serious-looking woman let out a brief chuckle. The serious woman let out a brief chuckle. Trow her nose.
That's through.
But quickly regained a still eager composure. Arthur flicked a small switch and gestured toward the training target that was being mechanically lowered down. Well, he said, let's see what Scream Miner can do.
The training target was a partially motorized metal box designed to accurately demonstrate how damage toward a functioning robot would affect the outer armor as well as the functions that a machine would do. Jim carefully placed down Scream Miner as Dick readied the touchscreen remote control interface. Scream Miner was short and cylindrically inclined, with a sharpened mace-like dome on the top.
What a lovely figure.
On the sides, it had two pincer-shaped protrusions, each with carefully placed holes that allow for both lightened mass, more durability, and easier grip on hypothetical spiked targets. On the front was a medium-sized opening, with a rod carefully retracted inside, much like a turtle's head. Dick circled around a widget on the interface, and the small robot started to emit a constant screeching sound. The rod inside the robot began to glow red with conductive heat, not conducive, conductive. What's the difference between conductive and conducive? But it's the same thing.
Conductive is when you can allow for the flow of electricity, and conducive is like an SAT word for English majors.
Oh, good. I'll be sure to look that up later for my SAT prep. Ass. The rod inside the robot began to glow red with conductive heat and swiftly chased after the training target. The pincers snapped around the unfortunate robot, and an internal pneumatic piston caused the superheated rod to swiftly punch through the metal casing with a sizzling pop. The three drafters seemed incredibly impressed as Scream Miner rhythmically penetrated the target, some molten metal oozing out and cooling back the solid lumps around the wound.
Ooh. That is certainly an excellent fighter, said Arthur, and a unique one as well. We pride our official Olympic and dispute games on having a large variety of machines. I will certainly put you two on the draft and see how the members of IRSO's Olympic Commission will react. We will get in touch with you as soon as we've reached a verdict. The drafters stepped off their podiums to shake the hands of the two up-and-coming mechanic athletes.
So in the future, the Olympics will now include robot fighting, which granted would pull a lot more viewership to the Olympics.
No, our official Olympic and dispute game. So it's not quite the same thing. It's changed.
Olympic Commission. The Olympic Commission on something includes sports and athletes
and
into the Olympic Games.
Include dispute games?
Dispute games, I don't...
That's a real thing?
I don't know. I would assume that means like...
Fighting games?
Dispute, like a duel. You settle disputes over this. I don't know. I don't know what dispute games
is
are.
that where LOL is supposed to come into?
I think they're changing that whole story. I think they're completely reworking the lore on that. Anyway.
Again.
The International Robotic Sports Organization, IRSO. That should have been spelled out entirely and then abbreviated in the very first instance, so
and now
we knew
we
it.
only abbreviate it. Well, this is some sort of other thing. This might be like a document. Yeah, no, this is a piece of history.
Oh, okay. But still, for the readers, like...
I think that's what they did. They say IRSO later.
Yeah, well, yeah, but you're supposed to spell it out entirely first and then abbreviate it once
Maybe
and then
they
abbreviate
did that.
it going all the way down. They didn't. It was always IRSO up until now.
Oh, okay. Well, here they're doing it.
Okay, yeah, I'm just saying, matter of point. The International Robotic Sports Organization, IRSO, was established in the year 2043 at the brink of what could have been one of the most devastating wars in human history. Due to a combination of internet communications, global anxiety, and an unlikely bond between two major leaders at the center of the debacle, the initial conflict was not initiated in the form of traditional military engagement, but in a less destructive battle between two remote-controlled devices. These first matches had gathered so much media and public awareness that a massive demand for robotic sports events spiked from a niche demographic to an international phenomenon.
We know that can happen.
Yeah, it can. Capitalizing on this market, IRSO was founded by a committee of sports analysts, innovative mechanics, military strategists, and wealthy investors. That's basically esports. That's what esports is becoming.
In the year 2058, an underground terrorist organization calling itself Blood Feud emerged, targeting large-scale IRSO tournaments and major websites with little efficiency. The stated goals of Blood Feud were to bring down the monopolistic IRSO and to effectively keep the precedent of international conflict and war pristine, away from what they view as the excess of entertainment. To combat the threats to the audiences and consumers, security and military presence have been set at maximum at all sporting events. All physical attacks by Blood Feud thus far were thwarted with minimal damage to property and persons. Their largest attack was the 2063 hacking of the experimental social media artificial intelligence, TC-OS, which as of the year 2064 has not been fully repaired. Since that incident, Blood Feud made no official statements, announcements, threats, or attacks. Global anxiety spiked to the highest since 2043, and the governments of the world set up increased security around the construction setup and the events of the 2064 Summer Olympics. Okay, I don't know why that was at the end of the story. Like, that's interesting and all to the story. It's just, it's sort of out of place.
This is chapter 1, so this is giving us the backdrop.
Another chapter story thing.
Yeah, so this, if I'm visualizing this as a movie, we have our two characters, and they're building up their characterization and their
Beavis
arc.
and Butthead.
Pretty much. And then, they get accepted, and as they're walking away, a narrator pops in and kind of gives the backdrop, which is usually...
Well, there you have it, folks.
There used to be two guys.
No, like when they're on the mountain and the rules are different. So this is the Robot Mountain.
The Robot Mountain commentator, announcer guy. By the way, in 2043, the terrorists attacked. Who is saying that? We know. For the audience's benefit. All right, well, that is chapter 1.
Oh, okay. I see the little CH1 at the top.
Yeah. A tournament of true Tussle-bots. Thank you, Hyper. That was
awesome.
awesome.
Name still doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but I don't know if it's supposed to yet.
Oh, it's chapter 1, so I would assume we're going to get...
I guess maybe it's like a slang thing. These robots are tussling.
That also explained the dispute battles, so these are used to settle disputes as opposed to wars.
Yeah, so it's not quite the same league, it's something else, because there's Olympic and dispute games.
Yeah, but my point is, in 2064, the Olympic Games have now included robot battles. That's what I said. In addition to also settling
I'm
nation
not
disagreeing
disagreeing with you.
You did disagree with me, though. You said no. That's not how it is.
No, but it's different now. Things are different now. Okay.
That was
Other
then.
story.
That was dumb.
Thank you. That was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed that.
It was fun. The surprise of where was it? Cox and Dix's Thunder Tower. That was good.
You would enjoy that.
That was funny. Oh, you know what? I like this. It builds up the characters. It makes me care about them.
Story about an underdog.
It puts very vivid images into my mind. It ropes in enough stuff that we've seen, like Shark Tank or whatever.
Really an underdog, though. Dude, this is really short.
Yeah, well, we may do a creepypasta after the next one. But anyway, so thank you, Hyper. That was great. It is, it's sci-fi, but it's the near future sci-fi, but with enough little stuff sprinkled in. Such as holographic pages, which, I mean, we're reading this on tablets right now. We're not far from that.
I liked, there was that movie that came out a little while ago, the Real Steel movie. But I like the fact that these robots were, not very anthropomorphic. They're very much their own thing. Built for purpose, not for looks. Or maybe if they are built for looks, they're not built for, head and hands, Transformer style.
Well, if this was made into a film, this could be, our generation's rollerball.
Okay. Yeah.
Rollerball was
but
good.
rollerball is, you can't really do this with rollerball, no.
Why not?
Because you're not putting people in danger, you're putting robots in danger.
Well, but not the fact that people are in danger, but like society is different in the future and everything's controlled differently and people's attention's directed and conflicts are settled through this medium of a sport, a mechanical sport.
A lot of stuff has done that besides rollerball.
Yeah, but rollerball it was just the first thing that came to mind. Damn.
But it's wrong, because it's not putting people in danger.
That was one facet of rollerball. There was a lot other stuff going on in the movie.
Whatever, okay.
God. Killing me.
You're doing it wrong.
Okay, this next one is from Crimson King. Crimson King is...
Another one of your friends?
No, they are a devoted fan on VidMe. I've started uploading our episodes to VidMe just to see if there's a good audience there and doing that whole social experiment. But Crimson King upvotes all of our videos, comments on a few of them.
King.
So they sent me about a week ago a message saying, "Hey, I wrote a story for you guys," and I read it. And at first, I thought,
You read it already?
Yes.
That's unfair.
Well, okay, it's not very long, and there's a reason why I did because it looked a bit like troll pasta. And then I thought
it was troll pasta.
Well, I talked to Crimson King. He said, yeah, it's funny and it's filled with a bunch of /X references, which is a 4chan thing. But I wrote it for you guys and I thought it was funny. So it's not like he's trolling us. It's kind of like fan service or fanfic.
He's fan trolling us.
Fan trolling us. And at first I was like, I really can't read this on the podcast. It doesn't really fit anywhere. However, with the Fan Appreciation Day thing, it fits. And I did want to show our appreciation because we are very thankful for the authors and the fans who listen and support us. So yeah, I fit it in and I'm happy we can do that.
Yep.
So yeah, this is called B-E-E, like the bug. Apis can be quite stuck up. Most every race thinks about them, even mine at times, but other times they can be the sweetest things alive. Every being in the galaxy knows that, earning them the affectionate nickname Honey or Honeys in the plural. Their insane need to constantly find work and overactive reproductive drives that lack the ability to conceive makes them the ideal partners for anyone despite nobody being able to tell what gender they are. Though I suppose it doesn't matter much these days.
Human-Apis relations have been banned by the Solar Council as it, supposedly, can promote the spread of anticellular viruses.
Those prudes on the Solar Council. Bunch of busybody bureaucrats.
They don't want to spread ATDs.
ATDs.
I haven't met many humans who abide by that rule, though, nor have I seen or had a anticellular viral outbreak.
Typical government propaganda.
People who follow the law just want to believe in that kind of stuff because they're Melissa-phobic. They're afraid of Melissas. But the truth is out there. There's no such thing as an anticellular virus.
Melissa's, however, very real.
What is Melissa-phobic?
That is an awesome question. I'm pretty sure I've heard that word before, but let's look that up. Pausing really quickly.
Because we totally get all of the references.
Oh, fear of bees.
Oh, what? Okay.
So basically, this is, they spread anti-cellular viruses. It's just
is it like
bee hating?
They're playing. It's a play on words because they're called honeys.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, there is just something about those glistening compound eyes and 6 slender legs that get most people tripping over themselves for a chance to talk with them. I've personally been lucky enough to get with one, though my night did end on a sour note. I met her, at the local pub. One thing led to another, and we checked into a lunar lander for the night. This is fantastic. The moment we entered the room, though, the moment we entered the room through the portal and flicked on the green tungsten lights, I knew I had scored big.
I set my phone down on the hollow table and took a load off, sitting down on the couch. Do you have it set right this time?
Yes, I do. Hello, welcome back to the third attempt to fix this episode. I don't know why the universe is so intent on making fan appreciation so damn hard, but it is. I'm not using that program that messed us over 2 times in a row. I've learned from that mistake. So apologies, everybody. This did delay the episode's release, but we just want to finish it out. Unfortunately, we're not going to react the same way we did to the blind reading.
We were so funny the first time, though.
We were. At least the story was. The story was very funny, and I hope you are all laughing as much as we did the first time. We're not going to play it up or anything like that, so apologies, and we will stop wasting your time.
I set my phone down on the hollow table and took a load off, sitting down on the couch. She sat next to me and we ordered honey cocktails and sticky papers through the service transponder table before us. We watched the tube for a unit or so before our order materialized on the table before us. Being the considerate man I am, I rolled for both of us so she wouldn't have to deal with all that getting stuck on the paper thing.
So, a bee is smoking some illicit substance through sticky paper, but sticky paper is dangerous to bugs. I just thought that was funny, in a way. Like drinking alcohol. Alcohol is poison, but we drink it all the time.
Yes.
Because it's funny.
But if it's like, wouldn't they just suck it through their nose snouts?
How do bees breathe? Do they have book lungs like spiders do?
They have no snouts. They have...
No snout is redundant. Number one.
You know, don't they do the thing where they...
Sneeze? Because that's the motion you're giving me.
They're like a fly. Okay,
they
whatever.
spit? That's what flies.
No. They take their... No, they don't have one of those. They have the snout with a little tongue. They lick everything. That's what it is.
Okay.
No,
That's a
not...
mouth. Tongues are in mouths.
Okay, that's not a snout. That's a mouth. Okay. We drank and smoked for a couple more units till we were both quite buzzed. Ha ha ha.
Ha ha ha. Ha ha. Genuine reaction.
Smoke does some crazy things to those Apis people. As the night wore on, she began to get leggy.
Well, the puns are still good. I don't care. After that, we didn't even make it to the bed. I went down harder than a Delta 6 class interceptor on a critical strike mission to the Zarian front.
Oh!
Am I right? While the people below us began banging on their ceiling and yelling at us in a futile effort to make it stop. Our room blazed with the drone of an Apis and intense pleasure. Suddenly, my phone broke the mood with its deafening ring. I mumbled a curse and leaned over to grab it.
What are you doing with my daughter? Asked the buzzing voice on the other end.
Hey, your dad's on the line. He wants to know what I'm doing, I tell my honey. What a buzzkill, I thought.
My father's been dead for 55,700,900 XX units. She replied with an exasperated tone, angry to have cut short our interaction. The night kind of fizzled out after that. She got dressed, grabbed her things, and staggered out the portal. What really bothers me to this day, I had no idea who was phone. Why who was phone? I know why. I don't know why.
You know why phone was? Who? Because that's what's on everyone's minds. Constantly. So I wanted to make a fan appreciation episode out of that, and it worked out really well. The story's funny.
Except for the whole cutting out. And...
Except for the recordings failing.
Yes, we really enjoyed the story. It was really fun to read.
It does suck that we lost our initial reaction, because we were having a really good time with it, and it's still funny. This is the third time I've read this story, and it's still funny to me. So thank you, everybody, so much for the support so far. I really feel like we have... we don't have a lot of subscribers, but the ones we do have seem to really like our stuff, and they participate, and the authors we've been able to read their stories from have been amazing. I'm just very, very thankful, and we're getting some good traction on VidMe, and we can bring it to even more people. So it's been a pretty good ride so far, and I'm pretty excited to see where it's going. Thank you again to Hyperthermal and King Crimson for their stories for today. I think next episode we're going to revisit the Rebirth saga, continue with that, and we'll kind of just switch off episode to episode, Rebirth saga, and then other authors so it doesn't get too stale. And yeah, any parting words for Fan Appreciation Day?
I have fans. We don't have fans. No. I have a heater and not a fan in our apartment.
We have a fan too.
We have a fan?
AC.
That's not. Thanks, you guys. I'm not good at this. Don't put it in.
All right. Bye, everybody.
Thanks, everyone.